It is a celebration right now in the WNBA dump. I received the following message around 6 o'clock this morning from the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. Uncle Casey, we've got some great news. You've been proven wrong. The WNBA has reached an agreement with pretend basketball players. These unknowns who were previously thought to be financially worthless have become millionaires overnight. Celebrate the butt bungo! What a great way to start the day. Waking up to a message from my favorite media outlet, ESPN, rubbing my incredibly handsome face in the fact that I was wrong. But Uncle Casey has no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I thought the WNBA season would be canceled. At minimum, I thought the pretend basketball season was going to be delayed. But around 3 o'clock this morning, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she organized a celebratory toast with WNBA players. They each had their respective bottles of Just for Men, and they toasted to another exciting season of make-believe basketball. The Ben Gay was flowing as WNBA players celebrated becoming thousandaires, and in some cases, they were celebrating becoming actual millionaires overnight. Now, the full agreement, the full details of the CBA, they have not been released just yet, but according to USA Today, WNBA players will be receiving around 20% of the league's gross revenue, which is double what they were receiving with the previous CBA. And it is well less than half of what WNBA players were demanding when these negotiations started. Now, to their credit, the WNBA did not budge. They told players from the beginning, we are not giving in to your unreasonable demands. We're not giving you 30, 40, 50% of our gross revenue. And the league, they meant exactly what they said. They stuck by it. Now, the average unknown player in the WNBA, they will go from making minimum wage to making around $600,000 a season. The minimum salary will be around $300,000 a year, with the highest paid players in the league making $1.4 million, which means the secondary dump known as Unrivaled will soon be out of business. But it also means the real test in the WNBA is about to begin. There are no more excuses to be made. Over the last few years, WNBA players have pretty much gotten everything they wanted. They wanted more media attention. They got it. They wanted more games on national television. They got it. They wanted more mainstream exposure. They got it. They wanted drastic increases to their minimum wage salaries with a chance of eclipsing $1 million a year. They got it. Now, the real test begins. I've been saying this for years. There always comes a point where you will be expected to perform. There always comes a point where you either step up or you step aside. And for WNBA players, that time is now. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. My uncle called me back in November around Thanksgiving. Now, he's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s. As he's gotten older, though, been dealing with various health-related issues. Doctors had him on pain management, had him taking all this medication just to get him to sleep at night, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night. Plus, he was building up a tolerance to it. My aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, wanted him to try it out just to see if it would work. My uncle applies the CBD lotion every night before he goes to bed. He is getting the best sleep that he has gotten in years. Doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. Over the holidays, one of my longtime viewers reached out to me telling me how the CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading alleviated his back pain. He had been dealing with back pain for years, players, couldn't find anything that would work for him. Bought a bottle of CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain. 20 or so minutes later, his back pain was gone. I have got countless stories from viewers, friends, family. Everyone tells me the same thing. They cannot believe this stuff actually works. There is a reason Sugar Mountain Trading has been with me here on the channel for 18 months now. My audience keeps buying their CBD because Sugar Mountain Trading is the real deal. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25, BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Going forward, there is going to be increased pressure on WNBA players to perform. And I'm not talking about their performance on the court. I'm talking about maintaining mainstream interest, drawing ratings, selling tickets, instead of giving tickets away to friends and family. When the combined salaries of every player in the league was only $18 million a year, the pressure was minimal. It's the equivalent of the last guy on the bench in the NBA who's making the league minimum. And the rare chance that he actually plays, the expectations on him are low. The team's not investing a lot of money in him. No one is expecting him to put the team on his shoulders and carry them to a regular season win against the Wizards, much less making the playoffs. But when you're a Supermax player, when you're Steph Curry, LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, when you're the guy making $50, $60 million a year, all of the pressure is on you to perform. Now that WNBA players are being fairly compensated, now that WNBA players are being paid what they deserve, there are no more excuses. The expectations are going to be significantly higher. The pressure is now on you to draw and maintain an audience. Now, whether or not they can do that consistently over the length of this collective bargaining agreement, that will determine whether or not these million-dollar salaries are sustainable long-term. Last week, the biggest stars in the WNBA, they were competing in the qualifying tournament for the World Cup. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, other so-called WNBA stars that most people have never heard of. They were competing to qualify for the World Cup, which I believe is later this year. Every game was nationally televised in front of an arena that was completely empty in Puerto Rico. According to the U.S. television database, the biggest stars in the dump, they averaged 334,000 viewers. Obviously, not great, but in fairness to the ladies, the games were being broadcast on something called True TV, so expectations were low. Expectations will not be low here in about 2 months when the WNBA season officially begins. In the past, the WNBA has heavily relied on drama to generate mainstream interest. Whether it was kneeling for the national anthem or the jealousy and resentment of Caitlin Clark, mythical racism, misogyny, the WNBA has always found a way to generate dramatics. And I do not expect that to change. Why? Because money doesn't change who you are, it magnifies who you are. So, who WNBA players were before they got paid, that will be magnified now that they're wealthy. But here's the difference. Before they were in the mainstream, the WNBA had nothing to lose. If Bob Greiner trashed America, if Natasha Cloud worshipped Zohran Mamdani and proudly claimed to be a communist, the negative publicity was actually good for the WNBA because it was the only publicity they were getting. But now, you've got everything to lose. You have an audience of Caitlin Clark fans who the WNBA claims as their own, and the vast majority of them are supporters of public enemy number one in the WNBA. Orange Man bad! If Natasha Cloud disrespects America, if she denigrates the Trumper, if she makes incendiary comments about the American military or the war with Iran, now you run the risk of pissing off your core audience. Putting $1 million in her bank account, that is not going to silence Natasha Cloud or any other activist in the WNBA. You got to remember, this is an activist league first and a pretend basketball league second. Another thing I don't see changing now that WNBA players have become millionaires overnight: entitlement. Now, to be fair, not all WNBA players have this overwhelming sense of entitlement. This is especially true with the younger generation of players, but the older players in the league, they've got a very long history of being entitled. In most cases, that does not change once your demands have been met. If anything, it makes it worse. So it'll be interesting to see how long this satisfaction lasts in the WNBA. It'll be interesting to see how long it'll be before new demands are being made. But for now, credit where credit is due. They found a way to get a deal done. Not only that, they achieved the impossible last season by finally generating a few pesos in profit. The WNBA is no longer operating as a charity. Their 501c3 status with the IRS has officially changed, and they are now operating as an actual business. 3 or 4 years ago, no one would have believed this. No one could have seen this coming. The league was dropping money faster than pants drop at the Butt Bongo Festival. But all it took was a young woman from Iowa who somehow captured the attention of the entire country. And the WNBA went from being an unprofitable charity to being a profitable business. Question is this sustainable long term? This was the biggest concern in these negotiations, at least from the league's perspective. Can you maintain this momentum? Can you continue this level of growth? There is no denying the fact that the foundation of the WNBA is shaky. This league is literally built on one player, so I've got my doubts. Admittedly, I'm biased. I have never hidden the fact that I am not a fan of pretend basketball, so I'll ask you guys, you tell me, can the WNBA maintain this momentum? Is the league here to stay? Are WNBA players being paid what they deserve, or will the league eventually regret giving out $1 million contracts? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.